In the middle of a busy street, Jordan stood, tears streaming down his face. His 5 hands, yes, 5, snapped their fingers alternately in a chaotic rhythm, creating an unsettling sound. Cars honked angrily as drivers swerved around him, yelling at him to move. One driver, braver than the rest, rolled down his window. "Pull over, man! Get out of the road!" the driver shouted. But Jordan didn't budge. He kept crying, snapping his fingers in turn, his gaze fixed on something distant, something invisible to everyone else. Workers at a nearby construction site noticed the commotion and hesitated. They whispered among themselves, debating whether to intervene. A couple of them ventured closer, cautiously waving at Jordan to move aside, but he ignored them. From a distance, Jack, a tall man in a faded t-shirt and sneakers, observed the scene. He sighed, shook his head, and walked over to the frustrated driver. "Don't worry," Jack said, tapping the car hood. "I'll take care of this." The driver raised an eyebrow but nodded. Jack walked toward Jordan, his steps measured and deliberate. Jordan's snapping paused, his 5 hands trembling as Jack drew closer. "Hey, Jordan," Jack said softly, standing a few feet away. Then, as if knowing a secret code, Jack pulled at the hem of his t-shirt and held it out for Jordan to see. It wasn't an ordinary shirt. The logo emblazoned on it was unmistakable. Real Madrid 2025. Fest Patch Final Champions. The sight of it struck Jordan like lightning. He stumbled backward, shaking his head, his sobs growing louder. No, not that," Jordan muttered. He pointed at the shirt, his face a mix of fear and anger. "Not them!" Jack tilted his head, intrigued. "It's just a shirt, Jordan. What's the big deal?" But it wasn't just a shirt. The mention of the Fez patch had sent shockwaves through the football world earlier that year. A controversial final between Real Madrid and their rivals, Barcelona, had left deep scars among fans. The match ended in a narrow 2-5 victory for Real Madrid, but rumors swirled of corruption, unfair penalties, and underhanded tactics. For die-hard Barcelona supporters, or Barca, as Jordan called them, the event was an unforgivable betrayal. Jordan's reaction to the shirt was visceral. He turned and bolted down the street, his 5 hands flailing in panic. Jack watched him go, the faintest smile playing on his lips. "Looks like some wounds take longer to heal," Jack murmured to himself before walking back to the driver. "Did you scare him off?" the driver asked. Jack shrugged. "Let's just say he has a complicated relationship with football." Meanwhile, far away in a dimly lit cafe, 2 men in sharp suits debated the fallout of the Fest Patch final. Real Madrid's controversial victory had